Welcome to today's video, GG versus TM. Yes, we are carrying on with the PvP coverage because we had so much coverage and you've been enjoying how we've been doing it today. And from yesterday's or the last time you've been watching our coverage of the GG versus TM war, you're going to be able to see a little bit of development here because from last episode, as you can imagine, GG was successful and they destroyed that flag, and as you can see, they started to destroy some of the central flags which they were succeeded on, as well as even some more northern flags in the TM territory, and they were going out for blood. And the crazy thing about this was these flags are important because a lot of these flags they're taking out right now honestly has a lot of enemies on the TM side unshielded. So let's see what develops in today's episode. Hello, yes, smash a like, comment and subscribe for more daily videos with me, MrSneakyy, an official Call of Dragons content creator, and we're back in the war zone, and here, GG versus TM, and yes, sadly, GG were winning the war, and TM are trying their best with their active players, as you can imagine, to defend their territory and try and obviously delay the fight as much as possible to the main area, which we're going to cover in tomorrow's video. So, what is going on right now? You might be wondering, what are we looking at? Well, basically, as we said in the intro, TM had a load of different cities not on territory because afterwards maybe the players were offline, maybe they just didn't care about taking the rally, who knows why, but a load of members on the TM member of side was obviously open to be rallied, and obviously Immortal here unfortunately was one of the ones that got the stung hit. Obviously SuperNeakyy to his right also got stung here, and as we move forward in time you can see more and more troops swarming Immortal here until the point where Double Down's rally eventually comes and hits. And the crazy thing is though, when we do look at this initial rally, at first, I'm just going to be honest, at first, if we do look at, you know, the just general UI in the game, obviously the rally is losing, right? But the thing is, the difference between the rally and the city is the fact that the city has way more troops involved in, obviously, the game. So it's going to be interesting to see how much damage it does, because guess what? We have that report, and hopefully, if I've done it right, the report should pop up on screen around about now. So it's going to showcase just the damage of what was done to Immortal City from that rally. It is an amazing, obviously, showcase just to show what was going on. But this is not the beginning, or this is not the end, should we say. This is only the beginning of what occurred. So let's go into the future, right? Because obviously TM taking rallies, everyone likes to see a good old city rally in Call of Dragons. But now when we go forward in time, what you're going to notice is even more rallies from Drow were occurring, right? We're going to see everyone being punished here, all the T5 players. But then what occurs is the crazy, I would say, moment in the whole footage. Because now GG is starting to build, and they did build flags around the outer skirts to touch the TM's sides. And we need to pause it in particular on this frame, because this is a very important part to understand what is going on right now and what's going on in the future, because this is a very key point in the war. The choke point, that was just the beginning fight, let's just be honest. That was the round one, round two, right? But this is where things got really crazy, which you're going to see later on. And that's because when we look into the actual positioning of things, this flag right here is currently in the range of this spire. And the cool thing about the spire is obviously it's in TM's control, and as long as they turn it on and use their alliance resources they have stored up, they can actually punish players trying to destroy their flags. This is also seen when we see in a moment the position of their fortress on the left side. This spire protects all of their buildings, and it's actually a major outlook or overlook tower on everything they're holding. So what GG need to basically do, as you can imagine, is destroy this flag first and allow themselves to build a flag here as well. And it allows them then to almost threat deeper flags in the TM territory without actually going into, you know, the danger zone, which is very, very clever on the GG side. And obviously TM need to know this and should have addressed this when we go into obviously some of the PvP footage here, because we can see TM currently what they're trying to do is they know that something's up and they know they're looking at this flag destruction and something's going on. So what they're doing is, when we look and we zoom out, they are actually upgrading this big tower to a cannon tower to make it harder to obviously destroy or longer to destroy. But more importantly, if any cities was in its range in this area, potentially, it would knock them out. But this was a really interesting thing. I personally don't know why they upgraded this. I'd love to hear their, you know, reasoning behind it. But when we're looking at the threat here, it's going to be more apparent when we start to see some more of the territory later on. Because the thing is with Call of Dragons territory, as you guys know, you can threat to take something as long as you're touching it. That's the main thing. So as long as your flag somehow, territorial-wise, is touching the enemies, you can take that. And I want to leave that there for you, because that's going to be basically a little spoiler for the next video in the future on what actually occurs and what is the final dagger in this war. But what we can see here in this little bit of footage that I wanted to showcase is the Spire as well. How well the Spire actually does its damage. I'm not going to lie, the level 1 Spires weren't that great. No one really took them seriously. But the level 2 ones show some actual potential. And the fact that we got Spires 3 and 4, well, that's a different story, because that means now that actually might be enough damage in certain choke points where the Spire is a very, very key structure to winning or pushing into those certain points, right? And if we can go further on, obviously, in time in here, and we're going to see now from the TM, obviously, waiting and getting that building destroyed, what we can see then is all of the GG guys in this southern area clumping up, and they're ready to go. So if we zoom out of here, we're going to see, look, all of the murder balls being prepared, because they did what we was suggesting, right? They was able to build a flag, and you can see now this flag is actually touching its territory very sneakily, which means they can actually destroy this flag without building any sort of infrastructure on this top side, right? Which is very, very crucial for them, because it means, in theory, if they wanted to, they could have a march positioned here, drawing the aggro of the Spire and allowing them to now go and attack this position, because the Spire is technically occupied with an enemy or unit, right? So it's very, very clever, and I like to see just basically a little bit more strategy here in this episode compared to pure insane open field carnage, right? But don't worry, that is coming. It's on its way, because obviously that is the preparation phase for the TM there and the GG alliances, and now we can go into the major fight. And I must admit, I was lagging during this because I forgot I was running maximum settings during this war. And TM now, with the behemoth advantage that we were talking about in an earlier video, if you can remember, they are allowing themselves the ability to now come in and defend from the back using their behemoth as a weapon, right? Which is really, really clever. But GG don't care. They are coming straight through and punching the TM. And you can see TM having, honestly, I can't really see that much infantry on the TM side, but I can see the infantry there on the other team. And this is where, for me, I was like, no, this is too much. And we've lowered down, obviously, the graphic quality for you guys. But here is the amazing bit, because we're going to now see basically GG employ two strategies at once, which is phenomenal. Because if I just scoop over here, just over here, we can see some flying units. And these flying units are really pinnacle for this strategy because they're positioned to actually DPS down the spire. And while they're DPSing down the spire, the main GG and Murder Ball is pushing through the choke point and pushing into this zone. So they're fulfilling two tasks at once here, because by doing this is allowing them to focus on the open field and win it, while obviously taking down the spire on TM's side by basically using the range advantage of those flying units, which I thought was honestly amazing to see. And this is honestly fantastic, again, offensive strategy to see from the GG side. And TM, honestly, they understood what's going on and they addressed it with bringing as much troops as well as their behemoths here into the battle. And we can see the Murder Ball basically from TM trying to push in or at least hold this zone. But what they don't realize is this is just continuous DPS, and this continuous DPS, you can see the health bar here on the spire just losing, honestly, millions and millions of armor nearly every few seconds, right? Which is crazy to see that it's dealing at least 500k DPS, you're right? And TM honestly addressed it, and we can see it. And I like the fact that TM are addressing it, and they're pushing, honestly, the Murder Ball of GG. So what they did were to go, do you know what? We're going to ignore these guys and we're going to focus here. If we can focus here and we can kill these guys, we are now going to be able to shift around and obviously kill the flyers too, while claiming obviously our territory back here and making all of this TM, while making just this little area out here the GG side. But GG recognize this again. GG and TM, honestly, both very, very good alliances when it comes to PvP, and honestly respecting each other when it comes to open field, because you can see now the massive GG Frost Giant Bear coming in and actually knocking down these players. This bear is in a very pinnacle position, and to be honest, it's not getting too much focus either. So TM are now drawing the focus, and you can see the difference from the health bar where you couldn't really see it dipping to the orange now appearing so consistent. And that is the difference in the focus fire here that the TM are offering compared to GG. But GG aren't over, as you can imagine. GG are not over, and TM aren't over. TM are trying every trick out of the book. They're even sending mage rallies in case someone, sadly, obviously triggers the mage rally and gets that area of effect rally damage out on the open field. So we can see every stop is being pulled out here from both sides. But one thing that's not been changed throughout all of this clip, if you've noticed, is these mages. These mages have done their job fantastic, and look at this spire. It's at no durability almost. It's about to go down, and then you can imagine when this does break for the GG Alliance, they're going to make their final push to take control of this area and destroy it, because as you should know, with the spire, once it hits 0 durability, it's inactive. So it's very crucial to defend this building if you are trying to make it your focus point in your defensive strategy. So we can see this now, and GG have done it. They've completed their task. It's offline, and immediately look at the swarm coming in from GG. They are moving up the ramp, using their infantry to frontline for the mages and the archers in the back line, and then going in to try and get this space from TM. And I love to see all the artifacts being in display. Again, we can see the burst strikes, we can see the dragon tamer, someone using Dragon Rift, even the all-star attack infantry artifacts. Personally, I don't use it. I prefer going for the defensive artifacts, but we can see everyone has their personal preference, and this is kind of why I like to showcase the difference in the players that are playing, right? You can see some people that are using the common artifacts. You can see some players using different, artifacts, and it just showcases that everything is viable if you're willing to put in the time and effort into making it, creatively good for your alliance. And GG are trying to finish this. You can see this is the finish line for them. They know they can smell the end of this if they can just take control of this zone. And what they do is beautifully employ now their Frost Giant. And this Frost Giant doing a fantastic job already, as you can see, creating this pocket of space here for the GG. So GG are now holding this area, and yeah, look, they've got one guy destroying it. Now they've got 2, and then it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 10. Everyone is going to be on it. So we love to see it, but TM respond again with their Frost Giant, and this is where we're going into behemoth gameplay and PvP gameplay all at once. 2 behemoths from 2 different alliances at the same time, fighting to see who gets control of this zone. And I hope you guys have been enjoying this, because honestly this fight goes on for so long that we can skip time a little bit here, and we can see those 2 giants still pumping through. But when we zoom out, we can see GG finally coming into this area, and now coming into the point where there's all of this space that could be taken up. And I think they recognize this, and they're going to try, as you can imagine, spread their murder ball more around this area instead, because TM are holding, honestly, beautifully defensive line. They know they're on the back foot here. They understand they're on the back foot, and all TM need to do for them to actually succeed in a defense, honestly, is maintain good activity, maintain their units, focusing players out of position, right? They need to be focusing all of these players out of position. If this guy is dead and out of position, that's 1 player out of the front line, meaning you can now focus these players completely out of position by GG here, because they've overstepped and they're not basically in this center murder ball here where everyone else is. But now GG are going for the blood. They're fully pulling the trigger. You can see the numbers on the TM side slowly dwindling, and like I suggested, they are taking the space, and we can see them taking this space because TM refused to take it. And what do TM do? Obviously the correct choice. They reposition and move back into a nice line again. And this is what we want to talk about when we're looking at PvP, when we're talking about 2 alliances fighting, offensive and defensive. What makes good alliances? Even though TM here obviously are losing this fight, they're still fighting amazingly on the back foot. They've got less troops, they've got less T5 there, but they're still maintaining really powerful focus fire onto the correct troops here to actually maximize at least the merit gain they're gaining for their alliance. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I know it was a little bit longer compared to the others, and if you have, smash a like, comment and subscribe. And the next video in this series is gonna be the ultimatum, the finale of all of the PvP that's been going on the GG and the TM side. So I hope you've been enjoying all the GG and TM videos here on server 2005, or division 2005, shall we say. And if you have, again, show some support, show some love, hit the sub button, hit the like button, share this out to your alliance members. And until the next video, stay safe, stay sneaky, and peace out.